This law will affect everyone. California just passed a law that requires your phone to spy on you. Not a suggestion, not a terms of service update that you can opt out of, but a legal requirement. Every app you open, every launch, every download, your device is now required to report information about you to anyone who asks. They call it a safety feature, but I'm going to prove that it's something much more dangerous than that. California just passed a new law, and on the surface it sounds reasonable. Age verification, about protecting the kids. Nobody's going to argue with that in public. But I spent 20 years as a professional hacker and an information security analyst, and I know how these systems get built, how they get broken, and most importantly, how they get used to control people. And when I read this law, I saw something that most people are completely missing. This law doesn't just apply to social media. It doesn't just apply to apps, and it doesn't just apply to your phone. It applies to every piece of software on every device that you own. Your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, every operating system running on every machine, including the free open source software that millions of people use to run their businesses, learn to code, and build things without asking for anyone's permission. Yes, Linux. This is going to be insane. And the people who wrote this law had no idea that software like that even existed. That ignorance just broke something important. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what and exactly why it affects you, even if you've never written a line of code in your life or even know what these operating systems are. Now let me show you what this law actually requires in plain language. It's called AB 1043 if you want to go look it up yourself, and I'll have that information in the description. Starting January 1st, 2027, every operating system in California must collect your age when you set up a new device, then broadcast the age in real time to every app that asks for it. And when they say every operating system, they mean every operating system. Your smart TV, your 3D printer, your refrigerator, even potentially your thermostat, any device with software that connects to an app store to receive updates or downloads is covered under this law. California just decided that your television may need to know how old you are before it turns on. Now you get sorted into one of 4 age brackets: under 13, 13 to 15, 16 to 17, and 18 and over. And that signal follows you everywhere, every app, every launch, and every download. Now here's where it falls apart completely. Think about servers that run on the internet. Not your laptop, but the machines in the background, the ones processing your Google searches, streaming your video, routing your payments. Those machines have no screen, no keyboard, no user sitting in front of them. They spin up, they do a job, and they get shut down, sometimes even in seconds. There is no one there to enter a birthday. There is no account setup screen. There is no age to verify. California just mandated age verification for machines that have no humans operating them. This law doesn't even know machines like that exist. It doesn't even make sense. And that is the most dangerous kind of law that there is. One written by people who are technically illiterate about what they're regulating. Here's the moment that stopped me cold. A calculator. Not a social media platform, not a streaming service, an open source calculator firmware. Now, open source means that the code is public, that anyone can see it, anyone can use it. Nobody owns it, and it's built by volunteers mostly. And it's used by students and engineers and hobbyists all over the world. This calculator firmware software just geo-blocked the entire state of California. Not because they did anything wrong, not because anyone was harmed by their calculator, but because complying with this law would require them to build age verification infrastructure into a calculator. They don't have the lawyers, the budget, or the engineers to even do it. So they did the only thing that they could. They put up a sign that says, you know what, California? You're not welcome here. Now let that land for a second. California passed a law so broad, so disconnected from reality, that a calculator had to ban the entire state. And it doesn't stop there. There's a small open source operating system called Midnight BSD, and they made the same announcement, same decision, same reason. They can't fight it, they can't comply with it, they just have to keep coding and believe that the software should be free. 2 completely different pieces of software, 2 completely different teams, but one identical conclusion. California just made building free software a legal liability. Now here's what most people miss when they first hear about this law. They think this is about social media, or it's about kids and protecting them on TikTok, or some niche corner of the internet that they don't use. It's not. It's about the device in your hand right now. If you have an iPhone, this law applies to Apple. If you have an Android, this law applies to Google. If you have a Windows laptop, this law applies to Microsoft. Every single one of them now has a legal obligation to collect your age and encode it into a signal and broadcast it to every app that you open, every launch, every download, every single time. And California is threatening developers with fines up to as much as $7,500 per affected child if they intentionally or even accidentally classify the wrong age bracket. Imagine a developer makes a mistake and their app is downloaded thousands or tens of thousands of times, and it's a cost of $7,500 per affected child. That's bankruptcy. And here's the part that caught me this morning. I opened the App Store on my iPhone to install an app, and before I could do anything, a screen appeared and said, hey, there's an age-appropriate experience in the apps now. Share that you're an adult, so you're not limited to child and teen content. I didn't ask for that screen. I didn't trigger it. It just appeared.